From far and wide, Oilers fans, this is Dolany TV. And welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on Dolany TV. I'm Tyson Dolany, your host of Dolany TV, as we get into another kind of like a big topic discussion as opposed to a game preview today, even though the Oilers are indeed going in to play the Jets this evening. I unfortunately don't have the opportunity to go over, sit in the laundry room tonight and watch the hockey game kind of deal. So we're going to talk Oilers either which way without it. I know there's been some other news, but I want to focus on this one news item I've been trying to get to for you guys for a little while here as things have kind of progressed with that identity line of the Edmonton Oilers, right? For, I guess, since it's got put together in Ken Hitchcock's tenure, I've been saying, look, once this line starts popping, it's all going to be good for the Oilers. And that comes down to Milan Lucic, Zach Kassian, and Kyle Brodziak all contributing for the Edmonton Oilers. But today I want to focus kind of in on what the development under Ken Hitchcock of Milan Lucic has been like. Because we have seen some absolutely transformative hockey per se out of Lucic. You know what? He's technically still a minus player under Ken Hitchcock, right? That is the unfortunate part. Like, even if I want to compare his last 2 or 5 games, he's a -1 in those last 5 games. So he's still a minus player under Ken Hitchcock. However, things are turning around, and guess what I'm arguing today is a very simple point that I think many Oilers fans can agree with, in the fact that Milan Lucic is the best overpaid third-line stud in the NHL. That's a lot of contradictory stuff when it comes to one sentence. Isn't that overpaid third line stud, right? Like, honestly, if you were getting Milan Lucic for what you're getting Kassian and Mr. Kyle Brodziak out for, you would be rocking that contract deal in terms of what Lucic brings to the Oilers, right? So let's go back and kind of figure out what Lucic realistically brings to the Oilers. He brings size, grit, strength. He embodies a big man's hockey game, right? So that's Milan Lucic, big man's hockey, and then he has that touch when he needs it. He has a good shot. He just needs to learn how to shoot that puck a little bit more effectively. So Milan Lucic having that big cap hit, that's the big problem, right? The big cap hit is kind of what sets Milan Lucic apart from his line mates in terms of how much effectiveness they're getting out of him for the contract dollars. That's the unfortunate part there. But in Milan Lucic's past 5 games, things have kind of turned around for him. He's had, well, honestly, quite a phenomenal run of it of late. He's had a lot of puck presence. That's maybe something that nobody gives him credit for, is in the neutral, in the high offensive zone. The past few games I've been watching Milan Lucic, he has had a presence. That's about the best thing I can call it. He's had a presence around the puck to pick the puck off or to get a stick on the puck, just disrupt the play, whether it be a turnover or just stall the play in the neutral zone for a few extra seconds to allow his guys to get into defensive position. He's had that puck presence, which has been so crucial, I guess, in Milan Lucic's past year and bit of struggles. He hasn't had that presence around the puck. Now, his presence also comes from him being a big body, and he's got to use that effectively. He's got to have the body presence to have the puck presence, and that's what we've seen develop once again under head coach Ken Hitchcock, is he's gotten Lucic into a role on that third line where it's, hey, crash and bang hockey, create your offense on turnovers, and just make the opponent wear themselves down trying to play against a physical big line. And that's where Milan Lucic really excels. You know what? Yes, he's had his time on top lines and stuff in the past, and you know what? He does all right in those situations then. Now it's a different game. Top line against top line matchups, Lucic is going to get burnt 100% of the time, so it is totally fair for Milan Lucic to be on the third line. Unfortunate part is the contract. Yes, I will agree to that. The thing is, he's embracing, as has been reported, a role that honestly a $6 million player shouldn't be embracing, but the fact that he is so important, because if you were not getting any buy-in from Milan Lucic, as it seemed Todd McLellan wasn't getting, well, all of a sudden that $6 million is a black hole in the lineup. And you can't afford to have $6 million not doing anything. And that's kind of what Lucic has done this year. Nothing. However, in the past few games, I'm talking 5, 6, 7, not the full tenure under Ken Hitchcock, but the past 5, 6, 7, he's started coming around. He started developing that crash and bang hockey, create on turnovers, generate puck presence, and wear down the opponents. And it is working. It is 100% working, right? And like I said, for one guy to stand out on the identity line, that's not going to happen. One guy is going to have more points than everyone else each night, that's for sure. However, it is fair to say that when one starts turning their game around, the others will as well. So Brodziak, 2 points the other night there against Colorado. And I mean, Kazian's had a couple points of late. Lucic has netted 2 assists in the past 5 games. You know what? In the past 5 games, you know what? That's like 2 points instead of 1 point every 5 games in the previous 29 games. So start weighing those positives. Suddenly Lucic starts scoring 3 points every 5 games, and suddenly the Oilers are looking like a much different club. It just takes a supporting line to, this is the difficult part about the Oilers. The top line is always going to do well. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is always going to do well. You know what? His line mates will do something sometimes. He's got Jesse Puljujärvi there who plays good but doesn't get points. And you've got Drake Caggiula, whoever you want to throw up there any given night. Jujhar Khaira. They're going to get points. The left winger with Nuge is usually going to get points. And that's just nature of the business on that second line. However, the third line, the biggest knock against the Oilers is there is no supporting cast. If you can have your crash and bangers, your literal crash and bang hockey players coming in and buying into their role, right? That's what's made Lucic so important in the past 5, 6 games, is he has bought into his role and he's starting to become a stud within his own game now. He's not playing that whatever style. He's playing an actual style of hockey again, and it's working for the Oilers, and they're starting to now generate offense off of that line. Well, now, okay, if that keeps up, all of a sudden you see against Minnesota, yeah, Lucic gets a point, they win big. Against Colorado, Lucic gets a point, they win big. Yes, goaltending's kind of a little bit more of a letdown than it has been, but a 6-4 win is a big win no matter which way you slice the pie on it, okay? That is a big win for the Oilers, especially gunning against Colorado like that. That is a huge, huge W for the Edmonton Oilers. So you got to think that Lucic doing his thing is really starting to transform the Edmonton Oilers in ways we haven't seen. And as I said, he's got to go from being a third-line role player to a third-line stud, and that's what he's become in the past 5, 6 games. Puck presence, net presence, hit presence, everything has been there for Milan Lucic. Everything is looking good for Milan Lucic at last. It's a tough sell, yes. I can sit here and tell you everything's looking good, and then tomorrow and the next day and the next 3 months he won't score a point, and then we'll be right back to square one. But as it stands right now, Milan Lucic is the NHL's best overpaid third line stud. Do I have you sold? I don't know if I even have myself sold, but arguing this doesn't seem as crazy as it did maybe 3, 4 weeks ago when the Oilers were in la la land in terms of being lost, per se. So Lucic, maybe the big thing for him is just finding that consistency away from points. And that's exactly what's happened in the past 5, 6 games, right? Like I said, the hit presence and the puck presence have been there. And that's something we haven't seen on Lucic. So consistency. If he can make 2 to 3 assets of his game consistent, just like the rest of his line mates, points will come with this third line, and suddenly the value of that $6 million contract will go from the rock floor bottom to maybe 25, maybe 50% value of the contract, right? Right now he's operating maybe as a guy who makes $1.2 to $1.7 million. But you start talking about Lucic putting up 3 points every 5 games, suddenly you're talking a $2.9 to a $3.5 million player. And at this point, as much as we have suffered with Milan Lucic, that is a lot to ask, but a very good reward if we get it, guys. Holy crap. I have not argued about Milan Lucic in a positive light in, I think, what is forever. I will let you guys have your say in the comments section down below. Let me know, am I way out to lunch on this one? I feel I am right. I feel Milan Lucic is the best overpaid third-line stud in the NHL at this current moment under Ken Hitchcock, given the circumstances. Put as many asterisks next to it as you like. I will still claim it. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Dolany TV. I will catch you guys in the next one.